think we're getting a good contrast on this one. We've got time for one more question, I think. Roger, goes to you first. What are your positions on the Wall Street bailout, cash for clunkers, and the home buyer's tax credit?
Yeah, I think we've talked about this, and the fact is I think this whole culture of bailouts and bonuses needs to stop. And I think we all understand, particularly from a Kansas values mindset, you know, the Kansas approach, common sense, working from the middle, getting things done. If we had followed that approach, I don't think we would have ended up in the mess that we're in. Both parties let deregulation happen, let the rules of the game not be enforced. We had people who were buying homes they couldn't have afforded. And then what we had was a continuation of that, and Wall Street went off and created unbelievably, dizzyingly complex financial models, derivatives, trillions of dollars of markets of a financial product that no one understood. And that's what crashed our economy. And so instead of saying we need to do everything we can to stop that behavior, our political culture of both parties said, you know what, let's reward them. Let's give them bailouts and bonuses. And I think that offended many of us in this room, regardless of party. So I think we do need to stop that culture. We need to get back to fiscal discipline and that fiscal conservatism that I've demonstrated in action, not just talk, but in action in the Kansas legislature.
Mike, 60 seconds.
Why don't you repeat the question for me, please?
No. Now, what's your position on Wall Street bailout, cash for clunkers, and the home buyer's tax credit? 60 seconds.
Yeah, look, Representative Goyle's answer sort of tells the tale again about how we think about these things differently. I absolutely think both parties made a mistake with TARP and with the bailouts. Those aren't the right answers. But when I look at the conditions that set up that, I don't blame entrepreneurs and risk takers who are out trying to grow their businesses and do the right things. I blame a government system that created incentives for loans to be made to folks that loans should not have been made to. I think you had Fannie and Freddie behaving in ways and propping up housing prices, frankly, on both coasts, primarily, that have now turned out to be terribly destructive to the community banks here in Kansas. Those are very different ways of thinking about what the federal government ought to do.